I got to push, got it.
Yep, got to push, got it. Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, my guest today is Tami Kramer of Nutmeg Notebook, and she is going to be making a potato party. She has a brand new course out. It's called batch cooking. She is literally the queen of batch cooking and salad making, and it is part of the ultimate vegan health and weight loss bundle. The course, in my opinion, is worth $500. She's pricing it at $197, but for 10 days only, you can get it for $49, along with about 120 other amazing products, courses, ebooks, videos, coupons. It's epic. I mean, you got to get it, or you're going to kick yourself when it's gone, because it'll never appear again. Not in this form, not in this lifetime. Please welcome to the show, Tami Kramer.
Hi, AJ. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in at least like 12 hours.
12 hours.
When you came over last night for an epic dinner, it was so much fun. We get to see each other, eat each other.
We had a blast. That was great. That was great. Really good time. So I would say that the bundle this year is the deal of the year.
Yeah,
it really is for anyone in the plant-based community. It doesn't matter if you're brand new or you've been doing this for years. There is something in it for everybody.
Absolutely. Your course is epic. I mean, it must have taken you years to create it.
Well, you know what? We worked on it for a little over 3 months, 7 days a week, at least 8 hours a day. And I told Tom, well, I think I can retire now because I'm saying everything that I wanted to say in this course. So I felt like when I first went plant-based, I'm going to celebrate my 10-year anniversary in March of having gone plant-based. And I just was spending way too much time in the kitchen and, looking for recipes and trying to figure out what to make. And it was overwhelming. I'd start making dinner at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I said, okay, this is not sustainable. I know this is the lifestyle that I want to have. I know I want to eat like this, but I can't be in the kitchen all the time. Because you know what? When you feel good, you want to go do other things. You don't want to just stay at home. And so I had to figure out a way that would make it sustainable so that we could eat healthy every day the way we want to eat, but we could still have our active lifestyle. So, for some people, it may be that, they have a super busy work schedule and they don't have time to cook from scratch every day. So if that's you, if you buy fresh fruit and vegetables with great intentions on grocery shopping day, and then by the end of the week, you're tossing half of it because you never got around to cooking it. If you do great for breakfast and lunch, but dinner rolls around and that's when you lose it, then my course is for you, because I'm going to teach you all about decision fatigue, how that affects our choices, and how we can set ourselves up for success. And that starts with your environment. And so I'm going to give you some guidelines on how to set your kitchen up, your pantry, your refrigerator, what kind of equipment you should have in the kitchen. I'm going to show you what I use for storing my food and all of my tips, hints, and techniques that I have developed over the past 10 years. I'm going to share with you so that it will be easier for you to live this lifestyle. This is the class that I wished I had 10 years ago, because it would have saved me so much time, money, and frustration. So I hope that you will get the bundle and take advantage of not only my class, but there is so many amazing courses and opportunities within the bundle for you. And even if you only use 2 or 3, which I doubt that that's all you'll use, but if you use just 2 or 3, you will more than get your money's worth from it. I was looking at all the classes again this morning, and there's just so much great content.
Unbelievable. Yep. What else do you like in the bundle other than your magnificent course?
Well, a lot of people ask me about the McDougall's Mary's Mini, and I've never done the Mary's Mini, but I see that they have a course in the bundle. And then Dr. Stephanie Peacock has what do I want to say? She has a presentation about chemicals that make us gain weight. And I think that sounds really interesting. And I'm actually going to do an Instagram live with her at 11, and we're going to talk about that. And then Dr. Joel Furman has lose 10 pounds in 20 days. And then you also get some other bonuses, like you get to join his message board for a month and different things. The National Health Association, you will get last year's taped recorded conference, which had amazing speakers in it. And you also get a digital copy of the Winter Health Science magazine, which is the only magazine that we subscribe to. Kathy Fisher with her first online course for salad dressings. So she's going to like teach you the techniques that you need to know so you can develop your own salad dressings. And Chef Bravo has his cooking class. I have taken his cooking class, and he is a wonderful chef from True North Health Center. So he cooks SOS free, which is salt, oil, and sugar free, like we eat. And his class is phenomenal because he doesn't just teach you recipes, but he teaches you cooking techniques so that you will be able to develop your own style of like sauteing vegetables and making your broth and doing all kinds of things. So, I mean, his class is absolutely amazing. Chef Julia has a Japanese class with recipes, looks tremendous. I'm excited about that. She's got soups and salads and all kinds of goodies in there. Our friend Elspeth Feldman has her Costa Rica course, and it's videos and lots of recipes, and her and her daughter do it together, and she's beautiful and her food is as gorgeous as she is. And Faithful Plateful, I love Faith. She has the tofu training course. So if you wanted to learn how to make tofu, then take hers, because her recipes are really simple, easy. You use ingredients that you can find in any grocery store, because she lives in Idaho and she doesn't have specialty shops. She has to just, you know, go to Walmart and shop. And so all of her recipes use easy to get ingredients. So, and that's just like what I can remember.
I know
at this
it's a
moment.
no-brainer. I mean, because any of these courses are worth the price of the bundle. And I mean, to get 120, it's like, I can't believe it.
I know. And so then I have to plug myself because of my batch cooking course. So we have 32 videos, 15 hours worth of watch time. So I tell people you can take it at your own pace. If you want to, you know, binge it this weekend, buy it today, binge on it all weekend, and you'll be set to go next week to start batch cooking. You can watch they're all set up in modules. So it's not 15 hours straight. You know, you can pick and choose what you want to see. And then we have a beautiful ebook to go with it. I have a wonderful presentation in the course, a PowerPoint presentation. I even took notes for you, and I've already put the notes in here, so you don't even have to take notes. And that way you can refer back to them as well. I give you a pantry list, what I keep in my pantry, a list of all my favorite kitchen equipment. You know, I try to make it as easy for you as possible. And there's over 50 recipes, full color photos in here as well, so that you know what it should look like when you get it done. And then I also show you what to do with your batch cooked food. So once you do all that batch cooking, what are you going to make with it? I have 39 different meal ideas for you. These are actual pictures of my meals, so that you will know what you can do when you make a lot of ingredients. So my batch cooking course is different than meal planning. Meal planning is when you have a set of recipes and you make those specific recipes for the week. You portion everything out into individual containers, and that's what you're going to eat for the week. I don't like that because that's not enough flexibility for me personally. So what I do is I teach you how you can make a lot of beautiful different ingredients, and then you can pull those together and make fun, interesting, delicious meals throughout the week, and you can flavor them differently. So I think my my class is great for everyone. And I talk about different batch cooking techniques that you can do. If you want to freeze ahead, you can. If you have a small refrigerator and you only have room to batch cook for 2 or 3 days at a time, you can do that. You know, you can make it work for whatever your living style is. Hey, my oven just got done. AJ, I've just got to grab some potatoes out of here.
Nice.
And using my Breville here. So just to save time, I wanted to get these baked ahead, and then we'll do some here. And now I am going to start off today. I'm going to make my vegan ranch twice baked potatoes. I don't know about you, but I grew up eating lots of potatoes in the Midwest. This is what we're going to be making today. And it's all starts with russet potatoes. I couldn't get nice fat ones. We stopped at the grocery store last night on our way home from your place, and I wanted really fat ones, but I got what they had. And so we're going to make do with those today. And what we're going to start off with is my vegan ranch dressing. And I worked on this for probably about 8 months to a year and tried so many different versions. Now this one is soy based, and I know you can't have it, but I'm determined to come up with one that you can have. So I'll have to work on that. So I'm using the silken tofu. I buy this organic one. And if you have the refrigerated kind, you can use that too. I like this because it's shelf stable and it lasts for a long time. So that whole little box is going to go in there. And then I have half a cup of plant milk. You can use whatever kind you like. It could be soy, almond, oat. And I have a little bit of vinegar, apple cider vinegar in this. I have 1 medjool date here. That's going to go in. That just kind of balances out the acid that we have. And I have some chia seeds. I'm using the white chia seeds, but you can use the dark ones. Just I have these on hand, so I go ahead and use them. And then I have my seasonings. And you guys, I gave AJ a link to the recipe for this, so you don't have to worry about writing it down or asking what the measurements are. There's going to be a link in the show notes for you to go, and you'll be able to print it right off of my website. So that's all that's going to go in here now. I have fresh herbs, but I'm going to add those later. If you add the fresh herbs at the beginning, it turns it green and it looks like a green goddess dressing. And that's not what we're going for here. So you have to excuse, it's going to make some noise, but Zoom will, I can keep talking. Yeah, it'll take care of it. Now I start out a little bit low to begin with, because I want that date to get well blended. And if I go up to a high speed right away, then it'll just splash and make a mess on the lid. So I start out low and then I turn it up. And I want it to run long enough that those chia seeds get completely blended up, because I don't want little lumps of chia seed in it. But what they're going to do is they're going to add some thickness to it as it cools. So just going to ramp it up a little bit here. Okay, it's almost ready. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And now I'm going to add the fresh herbs. Now I tried it many different ways. I tried it with dried herbs, but truly it was the best when we used fresh. And so it's the Italian parsley. I like the Italian parsley better than the regular curly parsley. And we've got chives in here. And then of course, dill. That's a very prominent flavor. And there's garlic in here, and garlic powder, fresh garlic. Some people say, well, why do you use fresh garlic and the powdered? And that's just because we're layering the flavors, and it just makes it that much more tasty. And then I just like to kind of pulse these in a little bit because I don't want my dressing to turn green.
Somebody said the bundle link isn't working. Guys, I just tested it, so maybe you're not clicking on it, but it does work. I just tested it in the chat.
I just I've got some of the herbs are stuck to the side here, so I'm just going to push them down because I want them to get in there. This has become a very popular recipe with our community.
Tammy, Diane said, can you hear me, Tammy?
Yeah.
Diane says, I've gotten emails from many of the vegan folks which I follow offering the bundle. I'm so not an online learner user that I'm afraid to buy it and then feel overwhelmed. Your thoughts? Well, here's the thing, Diane, if you buy it, you have a year to download it. So like, that's a long time. And you own it for life. And there may be one day that you wish you had Tammy's batch cooking course and didn't have to pay $200, or my fall in love with vegetable course and didn't have to pay $100. So if there's even one thing in there you're interested in, like Andrew Mellon's decluttering course or the yoga teacher training, I mean, you know, it's worth it in my opinion, but you know.
Well, there's a course on decluttering your house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of content. So I would suggest that you go to the bundle website and you get to preview what the content is. You get to see little thumbnails and you get to preview what the content is and take a look and see, you know, if there's like 3 to 5 things that you think look interesting, then just focus on getting those, download those to begin with and see how you go. Truly, if you use even one item out of the bundle, it will have paid for itself. So here's the dressing. I like to make it and chill it before I'm actually going to be using it, because that allows all those fresh herbs and the garlic powder and everything to just blend together and become even tastier. So I made a batch of this very early this morning and popped it in my refrigerator because a few hours later, it just tastes incredibly better. So that one is done. And Tom was so happy this morning. He was like, I'm going to get my own container of ranch today because I made double. I said, yes, you are. So I'm just going to pop this in my refrigerator. And Tom, that one's for you. And I'm going to let you take this tray away. And now we're going to get started. We've got the dressing ready. So now we're going to get those potatoes going. And then I'll let you take the blender base away too. And then if you could bring me the tray there with the bowl of potatoes, the one there on the right. And then I'll need that other one too.
Yeah.
So the great thing. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, Kathy, who's watching live, says, I'm going to get the bundle and put it on a flash drive. Yeah, that's a great idea, Kathy.
Yeah, because you don't want your computer to crash and then lose all your stuff. So you absolutely, positively need to do a backup. Then I'll need that other tray, Tom, so I can show them what I started with. I did a little bit of work ahead of time. So these are the potatoes. I just baked my russet potatoes. And, you know, I just wash them and then pierce them. And I just wash them and pierce them and then put them in the oven at 400 degrees. It took these were hard puppies. So it took about an hour and 15 minutes to bake these. If I could have gotten bigger ones, I would have gotten bigger ones. So I would have more of a boat. But then I just take a spoon and then I just scoop out the potato out of the center of it, leaving a little bit on the sides, just so I have some firmness for that, so they don't collapse on me. Then I'm just going to mash. Sure. Then I'm just going to mash the potatoes up. And I'm going to add a little bit of plant milk. And I'm also going to add some of my dressing that I made earlier to it as well, because this makes it taste delicious. So yummy. And because we're going to be putting it in the oven, I do want it to be very moist because it will dry out a little bit in the oven. And then I have seasonings, and you're going to get the recipe, so you'll find out what all's in there, but garlic powder, onion powder, some salt substitute. Just going to stir that in. And then I have some steamed broccoli as well. And that just, you know, makes it more tasty and pretty. It adds a lot of color. And if you don't like broccoli, you could use cauliflower. That would work too. It wouldn't be as colorful, but it would certainly work. Or you could use a mixture of both if you wanted to. Okay. And then I'm going to stuff those. But Tom, you know what? You need to bring me that other blender container there. And while I'm finishing that up, I'm going to have you go make the Chipotle nacho cheese sauce.
Hey, Tammy, Anne would like to know which Vitamix you're using. She saw one on sale at Costco last night, and Irma says, two of my favorite vegan influencers. Love what you're doing for the vegan community. Thank you.
Nice. So we have I'm sorry, I cut my finger and I'm having trouble doing everything today. Okay. So I have the A3500, the Ascent model. I have two of them, and I also two Vitamix blenders, and I also have the Venturist, and they have the self-detect. So they work with the food processor and the smaller additional containers as well. So, and I think the Venturist, I think we got that one from Costco. And so if it has the self-detect, then you can use the food processor and all the self-detect accessories that they have. And I absolutely positively love the food processor. So this is going to be my Chipotle nacho cheese sauce. I'm going to have Tom go run it in the laundry room so that we don't have the noise out here. But I'm using butternut squash instead of the potatoes and carrots that the recipe calls for. But I have the option of using butternut squash written in the recipe. And I had a butternut squash that I needed to cook, so I batch cooked it, and then I'm just using it in different ways this week. And it makes for a little bit sweeter of a cheese sauce, which is kind of fun. And I'm actually only making half a batch today just because I'm doing a lot of cooking demos. And so my fridge is going to get full fast. And then a little bit of lemon juice. You need that little bit of acid in there. I'm also adding a cup of water as well. And nutritional yeast and oats. The oats kind of thicken it and just give a nice little flavor. The oats are just slightly sweet. And then I have my seasonings and chipotle, chili powder, cumin, just some smoked paprika, lots of yumminess going on here. And Tom's going to take this and he's going to run it until it's hot. Because the really cool thing about the Vitamix blender is because it spins at such a high speed, it can actually heat up the food, and that will be hot and pourable and ready to use. So I won't have to put it in another container to heat it up. So that's really fun and a great advantage over using the Vitamix. So now I have those potato shells. And I'm just going to use my spoon and I'm going to fill them up. Now, these are wonderful to take to a potluck. They're great when you have company over, and Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. And so these would be really great to serve for Super Bowl Sunday. If you did this with smaller potatoes, then it really could be like an appetizer, and that could be really fun too. So I just love these. They make me think of when I was a kid and we would get these. Oh, they were so good. Of course, they weren't healthy. They were filled with a lot of nasty high-fat stuff, but these are so delicious. So you can make a big batch of these. So if I'm doing these when I'm doing my batch cooking, I'll make up a big batch of them and then put them in the refrigerator. I haven't tried freezing them, but I don't know why you couldn't. I'm sure that you could freeze them just fine. And then you could just heat them up. So when I make them for us, I like to heat them up in the air fryer, because then the skin gets nice and crispy and it's just so delicious. And we eat a lot of starch at our house. You guys probably do as well. So it's one of my favorite foods. I love potatoes, any kind of potatoes, sweet potatoes. Hey, I haven't tried this with sweet potatoes, but that's an idea to maybe try them with sweet potatoes. Be fun with like a Hana sweet potato or a Japanese sweet potato. That could be really, really good. There's just something so satisfying about having potatoes. Okay, so there we go. And when Tom comes back, then we're going to put the cheese sauce on the ones that I've already baked. And then these are going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for 10 minutes. Okay, we've got that started. And then I'm just going to show you, while he's finishing up that cheese sauce, I'm just going to show you a little bit of some of the things, some of the recipes that you're going to get. So there's a lot of tried and true recipes that are in my ebook, but I also have 14 new recipes that I'm really excited about as well. So one of them is this chickpea salad. So this is a lemon dill dressing with capers that I came up with, and it works beautifully with the chickpeas to make a chickpea salad. So we like to put that on top of our chopped salads. It's delicious. And then the other day, this isn't in the ebook because I hadn't tried it yet, but the other day I used it for potato salad and it was phenomenal. It just super delicious. So that's really fun. And I've been making the chickpea salad every week because Tom and I just can't get enough of it. And then also cornbread muffins. So I was practicing and trying different tricks on how to sweeten cornbread muffins because our grandkids like them to be a little bit sweet. So I tried using date syrup instead of, thank you, honey. I tried using date syrup instead of, oh, you did good. Look at the steam coming out of there. Awesome. I tried using date syrup instead of maple syrup and it turned them completely brown, and it really messed with our brains because our brains thought it looked like it was chocolate, but it was savory. It was so weird. So anyway, I'm using dates and I blend them with milk, and then I'm using corn flour and oat flour, and I'll either make my own corn flour or buy Bob's Red Mill. And the same with the oat flour. I'll either make my own oat flour in the Vitamix or buy Bob's Red Mill. And so these are just perfect. They have a nice soft crumb to them. And if you use the oat or I'm losing my train of thought, thinking about too many things, the cornmeal flour, but if you like it to be a little more hearty and granular, I guess I want to say grainy, then go ahead and just use cornmeal, and that'll be more traditional for you. And then, oh, these are oven roasted veggies. AJ, you probably remember when I made a couple pans of these and brought them over to your house a few months ago, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, how did you make those? And these are so delicious. And I make a big batch of these every week now with whatever vegetables I have. Sometimes I throw chickpeas in with it when I put them in the oven. This week I didn't because I wanted to do different things with them. But these can be part of your Nourish Bowls or your Buddha Bowls, and they're absolutely delicious. And then I'll show you some desserts too, but I do want to show you the potatoes. Okay, so here are the ones that I baked earlier. Tom, could you grab me one of those pretty plates over on the hutch in the right-hand side? That would be awesome. Yeah, those are so cute. I love dishes. So these are fun. So I baked these for 10 minutes. So now they're nice and hot, and they feel like they're nicely crispy around the edges, which I really like. And I like to buy organic potatoes, scrub them really well. And we like to eat the skin because, you know, there's a lot of nutrients in that skin. It's so delicious. And then I'm going to need a spoon, babe. If you could give me a spoon, because I'm not sure if this will pour light enough. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I'm so glad that my assistant is here with me today. I couldn't do all this stuff without Tom. So you can get it. Okay, so then this is hot and steamy. It's got steam coming off of it. And so I'm just going to drizzle it over the top of the potato. And this is so yummy. I guess you probably could mix it in with the filling too, if you wanted to do that. And just remember, recipes are just ideas. And then you can take off with a recipe and, you know, make it your own by doing different things that you like. And you can tweak things. If it's not garlicky enough, add more garlic. If it's too garlicky, you can cut back. So I always say there's no bad recipes. It's just all about our own personal preferences. And then to gild the lily, I like to add just a little bit more of the dressing. Oh my gosh, this is like so good. I've not had anything to eat yet because lunch is my first meal of the day, but man, this is like so tempting. It smells amazing. And if you like ranch dressing, you are totally gonna love these potatoes. Look at that. Did you get an overhead shot?
There, you can line it up.
Beautiful, beautiful. Which way? It's always opposite. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
But look at that. Oh my gosh. They're so pretty. And then you can take and just cut up a little bit of chives and put over the top. If you don't have chives, you could do green onions. You could do a little bit of parsley. That would be pretty as well. And so just imagine a whole platter of these set out for your guests. So easy to make, and I might say inexpensive as well. So with the cost of groceries going up, we can really stretch our budget by using the less expensive things like potatoes. There you go. Yum.
OMG, you're going to have a great lunch today.
I know, right? I'm so excited about that. So, I wanted to show you my fridge. Okay. Because this is what I'm going to teach you in the batch cooking class. I'm going to teach you how to prep food. So Tom, can you zoom in on this? How to prep food so that you can fill your refrigerator with healthy food so that you can make healthy choices all week long. So AJ, this is my new recipe for a potato leek soup.
Well, look at your fridge. That's a thing of beauty.
And I was going to bring you some the other night, but then the broth that I used said spices and seasonings, and I didn't know if it had black pepper in it. But this is the potato leek soup, and I know you like it. So my next
love
batch,
potato leek soup. Yep.
okay, my next batch, I'm going to make sure there's no black pepper, and then I'll bring you some. This is to die for. And I have a video and I have the recipe is in the bundle for that. And then these are the beans that I brought to your house last night with the rice. Everybody really liked those. And I just made that recipe up yesterday. Here's my veggies. Here's that chickpea salad. Here's the ranch dressing. I have onions already pre-cut here and some red cabbage and some green onions. I like to have some of those things prepped so that I can just easily sprinkle those on other things that I want. Here's some more of the butternut squash. We batch prep our rice. We're going to teach you how to do that. And then back here, you'll see all these salads. That's because my husband, Tom, and I eat a salad every day as one of our main meals. We learned that from Dr. Joel Furman. And I batch prep 14 of these in 30 minutes once a week, 7 for him and 7 for me. And so in 30 minutes, I have made 14 meals, which is just crazy. And then of course we dress these out with all kinds of other things that we have batch prepped in the fridge with our delicious salad dressings that we've made as well.
Hey, Tami.
So, yeah.
You mind if I ask a couple of questions? Well,
Of
first of all,
course, I'd
Peggy
love
has a
it.
comment that about mixing your cheese sauce in the potato. That would be epic. That would be great.
Yeah.
And Stephanie says, are there any time sensitive materials in the bundle this year like last year? Absolutely not, because we knew what a problem that was. So there are a couple of lives with Dr. Goldhammer and Dr. Joel Furman from the PBNSG, but they made sure to put in the replay link right away. So no, absolutely not. And Susan, how you doing, Susan? Long time no see. She says, did Tami use the bake or the air fry setting just now?
Oh, for this, I just used the bake. But when I go to, if I, for the extra ones, when I go to reheat them, I will put them on air fry, because that'll get them a little crispy when we, because they get a little bit more moist as they sit in the refrigerator. So the air fryer helps to just dry them out a little bit. So I love chocolate, you guys. So I've also included my favorite chocolate desserts in my ebook. And this is probably my favorite dessert. And this is a chocolate chia pudding, and its base is sweet potatoes. You can use any kind of sweet potatoes. So you don't have to live where you can get Hannah's or Japanese ones. You can use the garnets or the jewels. And I have lots of different options on how to flavor them to make them different. This one is an orange chocolate, and love to top it with berries. And I made up 8 of these for Tom and I. So I don't know who's going to get that, because I ate one. And so now there's only 7. So we're not even. Okay. And then this is a new recipe that I made. I actually brought these to one of your meetups, AJ, like back in October, and I came home with an empty plate. So I'm calling these chocolate heaven cookies, and these are absolutely delicious. And this is probably my favorite cookie. I've been making them, and oh my gosh, they're amazing. And you can freeze them too. And, I told Tom I got down to about a dozen of them or so. And I said, well, okay, we can't eat anymore because I need them for show and tell. And the other night he was like, I'm really wanting one of those cookies. Are you sure they're for show and tell? I said, yeah, they're for show and tell. You can't have any. So unless I have time to bake another batch. But anyway, so that's what we've got in the bundle, and lots more delicious recipes like this throughout. It's the foods that Tom and I love, and the foods that our family loves as well, because I'm so pleased to say that our daughter and our son both adopted a whole food plant-based lifestyle, and our 3 grandchildren also eat whole food plant-based. So
that's amazing. Tami, a couple more questions. First, I do want to thank Diana for her very generous super chat donation. I appreciate that very much. And then there's a question about using the Joy oat mix as oat flour.
Oh, I don't believe that I would do that. One,
it's more expensive.
It would be expensive because it's very easy to make your oat flour yourself in your high-powered blender. And so you can just use rolled oats for that and make it. And I would not use the Joy oat flour.
It's milled for milk.
It's made for milk. Yeah, it's very finely milled. So I don't think the consistency of it would be right for baking.
Perfect. And Sandra wanted to know if the potatoes could be frozen. I'm not sure if she means like before you put all the goodness in.
I don't know why they couldn't, because you can, back in the day, you could buy frozen twice baked potatoes that were already frozen. So I don't see any reason why you couldn't, but you can make as many or as few as you want. So, sometimes I'll make 6 or 8 potatoes. And sometimes if I just have 2 russets, I'll just cut the recipe down and I'll just make 2 of them for Tom and I. So, and great with like a chopped salad with it, or, oh, it's so good. And it's filling. It's a meal. It's absolutely a meal. Or you could just do, 2 pieces of those, and then half a plate of steamed broccoli. That's what AJ would do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, boy, you sure make everything look easy and delicious.
But you know what? It is. It is. It's just when you're first starting out, it's hard to see, the light at the end of the tunnel. How am I going to do this and make it easy? But I try to make it easy for you guys. I try to share all my hints and tips and the things that I've learned that make it
Yeah.
easy.
Well, you do it well. And Tiffany says all your food always looks so beautiful.
Oh,
And
thank you,
Mary
Tiffany.
Beth
Oh
says,
my
thank you.
God.
Mary Beth
Her
says,
food's amazing.
yep. Mary Beth says, thank you so much. This is really helpful. Can't wait to get into my bundle. So if you want to get it from Tami, I've been posting the link in the chat, but it's also in the show notes.
Yeah. So this has
Nice.
been really fun, AJ. Thank you for letting me come on and share this. And I get a yummy lunch, and so does Tom out of it. So that's a good
but I
thing.
have to work, so I can't come. I got to do another show right now. Otherwise, I'd be right over.
Yep. Well, I've got to jump over on Instagram and meet up with Dr. Peacock and see what she's got going.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Tami and Tom.
Thanks a lot, AJ. We'll see you later.
See you soon. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. People have been asking about my jewelry. It's made by a vegan jewelry designer, and she will be on the show on February 13th. Please come back in 5 minutes when we have another fabulous cooking demonstration. Dr. Colin Zhu is coming on for the Culinary Medicine Show. It's the Chef Doc. He's a doctor and a chef, and he's going to be making for Chinese New Year, Buddha's Delight. See you in 5. Bye-bye.